All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. And on today's episode, we're going to be working in this Samsung dryer. It is working, but it's not heating up. So possible causes behind it could be a trip circuit breaker, could be the vent, which might be clogged, heating element, thermostat, or any of the other components in the inside. So I already went through the basics, checked the circuit breaker, it's good. The vent is not clogged, so I am sure that the problem is in the inside. Whether would be the heating element, thermostat, or like I said, any of the other components. So what I did, I went to Amazon and I ordered all the parts in the inside, including thermostat, heating element, and other parts that comes in that bundle. I have the box over here, so let's just get forward to it and unbox and see what we get. All right, so we got our box over here. Let's get it open and see what's in the inside. All right, we have our heating element. See what's next. We have the height limit thermostat. I am not sure about the name of these. I think this is the dryer thermistor. Alright. You got the bracket thermostat. And we got the thermal fuse. Alright, so as you can see, we got 5 parts over here. I have the link below in the description if you have a Samsung dryer or any dryer that this might be compatible with. Just look up for it. You got 5 parts, as I said, and it was only $23.38. All right, as always, safety first. So the first thing we want to do is just go ahead and unplug our dryer. That way we're not working with live electricity while we have our hands in there. So let's get that done and keep moving forward. All right, so already unplugged. I'm gonna pull it forward. That way I can go ahead and remove the dryer vent hose. All right. Alrighty, that's out. Okay, for this step, this is the first thing we're gonna do. You got 2 screws over here holding the lid. So we're just gonna remove those and keep moving forward, because the first thing we're gonna have to do is just remove the top part. And always keep things organized. Keep things organized. You don't want to lose your screws. You don't want to lose any of the parts or elements of your dryer. All right, next. Those are already out. All you have to do is just go ahead and lift. That's already out. I don't have too much space in here to work, but we're gonna make it. All right, once on the front, you're gonna go ahead and remove this screw over here, this one over here, and this one over here. Go ahead and open the door. You have this one over here and 2 in the bottom, one right here, another one over here. This one right here has something in the back. Just make sure when you remove this screw over here, remove the part in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and get them all removed, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. All right, like I said, this one over here, here, and here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, it came right out. This is what I'm talking about. So let's just go ahead and put our screw with it. All right, so as you can see, it's clamped over here. So let's just go ahead and lift it and pull it right out. Now we have access to the inside. However, there's some other things that we need to work. So I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, before we move into the next step, and I just want to show you this right here. This is a plug that goes with the front, the door. It goes over here. So before you remove it, of course, you have to unplug this. It's something that I forgot to mention, so I just want to make sure everyone is tracking. All right, for the next step, we have one screw to remove here, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to get us all this part out of the way in order to remove the drum. All right, let's get it. All right, what we're going to do, just come here and lift. On it. All right, it's already out. Just ensure you disconnect this plug down here. So, all right, and another one here. Take it out. Now we have it. All right, now we get to the good part. So the motor shaft is back there holding up the belt. So I will have to get my hands back there, remove the belt from the motor shaft. That way I can remove the drum. All right, let's get it. All right, we have it out. Now we have access to everything else. Alrighty, now that we have access, let's go ahead and inspect everything and see if we can find. So I can see right here already that hidden element, yep, hidden element is just fried. So let's go ahead and take the hidden element out, replace it, and replace everything in here. including these two back here. Alright, so one thing I always like to do is just, especially when it comes to wiring, I always like to take a picture before I start disconnecting things. So I will highly recommend you do that, because if you plug your wires incorrectly, what you can do is just go ahead and create a short circuit, or I don't know, just fry the elements again. So just go ahead and take a picture, and I am done talking. Let's get into action again and start taking screws away. So you probably said you should have just disconnected everything first, but I don't like to disconnect wires first and then just let them hang in, because what I like to do is just, once I remove this, I'll just go ahead and replace that part instantly. So that way I'm not changing the wiring with other ones. So got one more screw back here. All right, so for this part over here, I'm gonna need some pliers, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those, and I will be right back. All right, pliers acquired. So this, there's like a small flap over here that is bended, so just trying to get it straight so I can remove the lid. Try to use the big ones. There you go. Oh yeah, this is definitely completely dry, fried. It is broken. I don't know. I think this might have overheated and expanded, broken here. All right, let's continue replacing these parts over here. Let's unplug this. For these ones over here, there's only one screw behind it, in the lower part of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove those real quick. Alrighty, those two has been replaced. Now let's continue working here to remove the hidden element. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this definitely is messed up. let's get the new hidden element back on. Yeah, right here. All right, once you get that on, just make sure these flaps over here, you bend at least one of them so it doesn't go out. All right, now let's get it connected again. Now let's put the lid. All right, when we're putting this together, we just want to make sure that this is actually catching the hidden element, because right now I think it is not. So I'm gonna remove this screw back out so I can show you what I'm talking about. So you see how it moved out? So you need to ensure it is actually right there. Everything has been secured. I put all the screws back on. I'm gonna give you a heads up right now. This is the most difficult part so far. Getting the hidden element holes to align with this. I should have probably just removed the bottom part and do everything outside, but I don't know. I guess that's up to you if you want to remove the bottom part. If I don't even know if you can actually do it, but that might be one of the ways to make it easier. But yeah, just giving you the heads up, one of the most difficult parts. So let's get this back on, and once we get this back in place, we're ready to assemble everything back and give it a test. All right, see you on the other side. All right, when it comes to this part, putting everything back in place to reassemble, you might need some help, especially putting back the drum and this front part back in there, but I'm gonna try to do it on my own. Hopefully I can get it back. So let's get to work. So you wanna put the belt around the drum before actually putting the drum in there. Make sure you throw the belt all the way back there. Then try to put the drum where it goes in the back. Now you're gonna align this over here, then to the other side. All right, everything is in place. Let's secure this wire over here. Now we just put the screws back on. Something I wanted to show you is the way I organize my screws. So I get a piece of cardboard and I put them all together and specify where every single one belongs to. So that way later on I'm not wondering, oh, where this one goes or whatever. Just good tip. Alrighty, let's get this secured. Don't forget your plug. Put it back in. And of course, I'm reminding you about the plug, and I almost forgot to tie that screw down. It happens. Oh, all right. So now we're going to be putting the belt back in place in the motor shaft. I think this is going to be a little bit difficult, but we're going to make it happen. That's what we always do. We make it happen. So let's get our hands down there. Actually, let me get some light so I can work better. All right. That was extremely difficult. Putting that belt back on, it was really difficult. I don't know if I can compare it to putting the hidden element aligned with the cover, but still, it was very difficult and painful on my shoulder. Just for awareness, I have bad shoulders. I have surgery on this one, and just the position I had to be on to get the belt back on the motor shaft, it was really painful. But got it done because we always get it done. But anyways, let's just move forward and put the front cover back on and get this rolling. All right, so if you see over here, there's 3 hooks. Just make sure they are in a line and well in place when you put it on. So get it right there. Now a little push over here, little push over here, and got it there. All right, moving forward. Like I said, good way to maintain your things, your screws organized. So now I know where to go. So front silver, now I know this goes over here, and over here. And don't forget the top over here. Secure this over here and your screw. All right, this is already done. Just a quick reminder before we continue. I did the same thing when I was removing this. So I forgot to plug that plug that goes behind this, which is for the door. So before you put the screws on, just make sure you plug the plug, so you don't have to remove everything back out. All right, so let's just continue with this. We're almost done. We're just gonna put the lid over here. Make sure you put some pressure in there so it just locked in place. Rotate, and now let's just put the hooks back here. All right, last part. We're just going to place the hooks that secures the top part. So we're just going to place them down here. And get the screws in place. Last thing, well, second of the last, let's put vent hose back in. Now, last. Plug it back on. All right, so moment of the truth. Let's see if all the hard work was successful, and let's just give it a try. All right, 5 minutes has passed. I actually think it's heating up. I'm gonna stop it and see if it actually working. Yeah, oh yeah, 100% is working. It's heating up really good. So we did it, we made it, we fixed it. Real tools, real fixes. Let's get to work. We always do. So please click the button below, subscribe, like the video if you like it. If you didn't like it, well, hopefully the next one you'll like it. But stay tuned for the next fix, for the next DIY, for the next garage fix. I don't know. Just we'll see what's next. Thank you.